There are, I suppose, three aspects or characters to this channel. One is obviously hiking, nature and the incredible landscapes that I visit. The other would be the spiritual aspect of it, the indescribable, the immeasurable aspects that I talk about a lot in my commentary. And the third character is the music that I choose to accompany these videos. The music on this channel is not coincidental, and I don't treat it as background music. It's, as I said, a character. I spend often hours searching for the right kind of music that would convey what I find is completely indescribable in words, in any human language whatsoever. Some of the beautiful views that I have witnessed are just so only expressible in your soul and through music that I have to treat music as the character in its own right. And so it is a very, very important part of this channel. In my film A Wondrous World, I quoted Hans Christian Andersen, who said, "Where words fail, music speaks." The beautiful waterfall that you can see behind me, ASKII Force, is precisely the kind of example of these places where words fail me, where the connection to nature is inexpressible in words, human language. And I find that sometimes only music can convey those emotions. And so this video pays homage to the efforts and hearts and souls of the composers whose music I have used on this channel. So what I've done, I've contacted a couple of those fantastic people who write this beautiful, beautiful music and asked them a simple question. What do you feel is your own and your music's relationship to nature? How do they connect, and how is your music influenced by the natural world? And I got a few responses. One is in a video format, another one is in an audio format, and the other ones are in the text form. Are going to make you think and reflect about our relationship to nature, whether language and words and even those images that I record are enough to convey that soulful, spiritual, sacred relationship to nature that I think so many of us long for and ache for. So I will now hand it over to those wonderful artists, composers who have put their hearts and souls into writing the music, which often definitely obviously links to nature, and who also had allowed me to use their music on this channel.
Nature has been my strongest source of inspiration for my music for quite a while now. But the interesting question is what exactly it is that is inspiring about nature. And I actually needed a few years to really figure this out. I'm currently hiking the Padjelanta in Sweden, and while it's a marked official trail, I think it's still one of the more remote places you can visit in Europe. There is no civilization, there are no roads, no cars, no artificial noise, little to no phone reception, and for the most part, not really people. I mean, you meet a few hikers every now and then, but you are on your own most of the time. So I think this place is one of the few spots where you can really come close to nature in its purest form. So what is inspiring me about nature? The first thing is silence. And by silence, I mean the opposite of the artificial noise that is surrounding us every single day. And when that is gone, it creates this room where all of a sudden you notice all these details that are important. One example is when wind is blowing through trees, every tree sounds a little different. And that's actually quite interesting and something I'm trying to implement into my music. The second thing that is inspiring about nature is the solitude, because the solitude is teaching you trust. When you're hiking through the wilderness, you understand that everything that you need, you have at your disposal. Food is in the backpack. If you're thirsty, you can drink from one of the many creeks you're passing by. If you need a shower, you can just get into the river or lake and feel alive with the ice-cold water. A toilet is behind a boulder that you pick, and when you're tired in the evening, then you just pitch your tent to be ready for the next day. Everything else is out of your control. Whether there's sun, if there's rain, if there's storm, there's nothing you can do about it. And of course, you can be angry about it and have a bad time, or you understand that it's just a unique perspective that you are allowed to experience. And that translates into the artistic process, because it can be quite terrifying to sit in front of an empty project that has not a single note in it, and somehow you want to turn it into a finished composition and you have no idea where to start. And that's exactly what nature is showing you. Trust the process. You have to leave everything that you know behind and enter uncharted territory. Don't tell an idea what it is supposed to be. Rather, listen to the idea. And this is something that you can experience in solitude in nature. Number 3, perspective. Now, as I just said, there are a lot of things that are outside of your control. The most obvious example is the weather. You may be lucky and have sun, as I have now, but you can also walk in cold and stormy and rainy weather, and then it can be quite exhausting. There are 2 interpretations about that. One is that whatever is happening on the outside world is a reflection of the inner world. So if you have bad weather for several days, it may have something to do with you. And probably there is something to let go of. Perhaps your own expectations of what weather it is that you have to experience. The second interpretation is that nature is showing you whatever it is that you need to experience right now, even if you don't understand it right away. For example, imagine you're walking through bad weather for 2 days, and then all of a sudden you have a blue spot in the clouds and sun is peeking through. And you may feel like you just won the lottery. It will help you to actually appreciate good weather because you know how bad it can be otherwise. It is different perspectives that are shown by nature on the very same thing. And that is something that I try to replicate in my own music. I may have just one composition, but it has several layers of meaning that I try to convey. For example, a piece of music can just be for your entertainment. Or you're looking for the soundtrack of your tabletop session, and it can be that. If you're looking for something that helps you being creative or to focus for studying, it can be that. And it may even give you answers to philosophical or spiritual questions. It is a room that I want to offer to people with different possibilities, with whatever it is that they need at a certain moment. Nature helps me to figure out how this may work. Which brings me to point number 4, last but not least, beauty. And I think this is pretty much impossible to put into words, because you have to experience it for yourself. I'm pretty sure that all of you know the feeling when you're standing at a great vista point and you have a beautiful landscape in front of you, and you're standing there in awe and vibrant joy. But I think this barely scratches the surface of the meaning that nature can offer you. Behind that, I noticed that every location has a different feeling to it. For example, majestic mountains can provide you this raw energy. In forest, you may feel rooted and grounded into yourself. Water, especially ocean, can wash away whatever it is that doesn't belong. Or, like here in the fjell, you can see for several kilometers and you have this sense of peace and tranquility. And it goes even further than that. Nature helps me understand that not only am I a part of nature, but nature is a part of me. That is something that I cannot explain with intellect. It's something you have to realize for yourself, because it's a feeling. But when there is a feeling, that is a starting point to be poured into art. And with a lot of my compositions, I strive to put this idea that everything is one into my music, so people may be able to understand what it is all about.
Natura jest dla mnie nieskończonym źródłem inspiracji. Nie potrzebuję słów, by poruszać. Jej piękno, rytmy, cisza, a nawet chaos uczą mnie, jak słuchać, jak muzyką przekazać emocje bez słów. To właśnie w naturze znajduję autentyczność, którą próbuję potem uchwycić w dźwiękach. W mojej muzyce.
music certainly speaks.